All right, first off, we want to give all praises unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai.
We want to say the water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai for allowing us to be out here again through His Spirit. The water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai for giving us His truth as worms. Double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and salutations and blessings to the whole for life. And hey, we're the Hebrew Israelites, man, and we're gonna get in today to start off about the northern tribe, man. How the northern tribe kept the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord in America, man. We're gonna get some accounts out of this book, out of the Native American Entities by James Adair. Actually, go to the table of contents just to name off the things that Gad was doing, man. Because even in the table of contents, it's right there. It showed that the Native Americans they got down with what they would say as the Jews kept in the Holy Land. The reason that is because the Native American Indians and the northern tribes, Mexicans and Latinos, are all Israelites also. You can just read off a couple of
their division into the tribes, their worship of Yahweh, their notions of theocracy, their language and dialects, their prophets and high priests, their manner of counting time, their festivals, fasts, and religious rites, their daily sacrifice, their ablutions and anointings, their laws of uncleanliness.
Yeah, and when you read the scriptures, man, when you get into the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, it teaches. Can you get Leviticus 18 to 28? Because it said the laws of uncleanness and being clean. In our laws, you couldn't be foul, man. You had to follow the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and be pure. Because when you became unclean, this is what happened. You gotta 20. Start from 27. Start from actually right there. 26.
Ye shall therefore, Leviticus chapter 18, verse 36. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments. You should not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourn among you. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. And the land spewed not you out also when you defiled it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you.
Yeah, because if you were unclean before Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, he would. Yep. That's why they got cast out.
That's why the Canaanites got cast out, because I was referring to the Canaanites back when they was dwelling in the land, which is now called Israel. The Most High sanctified us to go in and take out all the Canaanites that was in the land. But when referring to the Gadites, the northern kingdom that was over here in North America, you know, we try to keep some of our the law, statutes, commandments, but as back in the old days, you know, back before the Assyrian captivity, you know, before when we was in the land, we was fucking up. We kept perpetually going off and doing abominable acts. Same thing here in America. So the Most High cast us out.
Get Second Ezra 13 and 4, and then read that. Yeah, read that.
The history of the American Indians, also known as Gad. To discover clearly the origin of the so-called Indian religious system, I must occasionally quote as much from the Mosaic institution.
Yep, so it just said for him to speak about the laws and the things and the priesthoods of the Native Americans, he had to keep going back to and referring to the Mosaic laws, to the Torah, as you would say, or to the 5 books, man. He couldn't just stay in just with that. He has to go back to the scriptures, man. He had to go back and study the scriptures to see that they lined up, man. The Native Americans and the Latino tribes lined up with all the Mosaic laws that were in the scriptures, man. That's the reason they came over here. That's the reason the Native Americans and the Latinos came over here. You got it up?
This is Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, who Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they unto another land.
So this what happened to the Latino tribes and yeah, you know, I think it's 1 Kings 17 in like 24.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Because that's the reason they were carried over here. They came over here after their captivity, man. Because they were in captivity, they was in straits, and they came over here trying to find, trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's the whole reason they left out. They didn't leave out just to continue doing wickedness. They left because they knew their bondage was hard and they wanted to follow the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So they left, went over to Americas because no one was over here at the time, but they knew the route because of King Solomon. They knew the whole route to get here, and they came over here, man. They didn't fucking. What is that? They walked through the Bering Strait or something like that. They traveled through
the river of Euphrates.
Yeah, that's what they really did. They went under, whooped around, and went to
went
coast,
over the east coast of Africa, went to the southern coast, and the Lord showed them through chariots and angels the way to get there. And I got the kind of Second Kings. This is verse 41, Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 41. And they came and they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen to go forth unto a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then shew signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
So that's what the Lord did for them to come over here, man. He showed them signs because Issachar. It says that Issachar is good with the stargazing. They know how to map through the stars, and the Lord showed them the way to come over here, man. They traveled through the Euphrates. The Lord kept still the waters. It wasn't because the waters would damn near destroy the fucking boat. Because
it's known that in the southern region of the southern coast of Africa, the seas over there, it's like like the brother said, it's crazy. You know, it's rough. Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for. It's rough waters in that area. So the Most High had to hold the water still so that the Northern Kingdom can travel all the way over to the American shores.
Precept.
You got it.
This is 2 Chronicles 9 and verse 20. It says, and all the drinking vessels of King Solomon were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was not anything accounted in the days of Solomon. For the king's ships went to Tarshish with the servants of Hiram every 3 years. Once came the ships of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. And King Solomon passed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. You know, because the brother mentioned, you know, that they had understanding that this land was over here by way of Solomon, which is indeed true. You know, Solomon had a navy of ships that would go from Tarshish. Tarshish is modern day Spain. It would go into South America and into the islands that were around South America, getting gold, ivory, and peacocks. That's how Christopher Columbus knew that this land was over here, and that the 10 tribes of the Native Americans were over here. You know? And also it says that it showed them signs. Well, the Most High also showed Christopher Columbus signs, you know, of how to get over here. You know, he showed them chariots, and the chariots led him to this land. You know, the chariots are known in history as St. Elmo's fire. You know, that was a sign for them that led them over here. You know, and the reason why this devil was defined as lamb, because when you read the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, this lamb was to be set up in prophecy, you know, as what it is today, which is modern Babylon, modern Egypt, and modern Sodom, and also modern Edom. You know, so just to bring it back to the point, the 10 tribes of the nation of Israel knew how to get over here into this land by way of history. They knew about King Solomon, that he had ships that would come over here once every 3 years. Well, once, which would take them a year and a half to get here, a year and a half to get here, and a year and a half to get back. You know. I got another precept, Baba Kashar. This is John 10 and 6, and it reads, well, 10 and 16, Salakia. It says, "And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also must I bring, and they shall hear my voice, and they shall be one fold and one shepherd."
And that's speaking about the northern tribes that were over here. That's why they have accounts of what do they call them? What's it? Damn, the northern tribe, they got a deity. It was speaking of Yahushua, but I forgot. Yeah, Quetzalcoatl. Yeah, that's who they commemorated as being the Lord Yahushua, because they said that Quetzalcoatl was going to return and deliver them, man, from the hands of the devil, man. That's the northern tribe has to be Israelites, man. For you people who don't believe that Native Americans and Latinos are Israelites, they are. Same as the Negroes and the West Indians over there in Haiti and in Jamaica. Those are Israelites also. All the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Those are the Israelites that Yahweh Shemal Shai chose, man, from the beginning. Those are the ones that came out of the wilderness. Not no curly-headed, fucking weird rat, Amalekite, weird-looking thing, man. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the people that the Lord chose, man.
Okay, and what about the undeniable and the unrefutable artifacts that they're finding with the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo-Hebrew on it, man, that they're finding within America? What about the Back Creek Stone? What about the Lost Luna Stone? You know, all of these artifacts that they're finding within the Americas that have ancient Paleo-Hebrew writings on them. You know, which is the language of what? It was the language that was spoken in Canaan, and that language, prior to us coming in America, that Paleo-Hebrew language, you know, it wasn't being spoken, man. I mean, Salakia, prior to us coming into this place, they wasn't really speaking it like that. They were dealing with the Assyrian, man. So that means that these have to be those lost 10 tribes that went into captivity under Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and that went into the land of Assyria and eventually came over here into the Americas. This have to be them, because that's a language that's going back over 7,000 years, man. When did the Native Americans go into captivity? I don't know the exact date, but it was way before. It was way before
the second temple build.
Way before the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, man. It was way before we went into the Greek captivity. All right? It was before we went into the captivity under the Babylonians, the Persians and the Medes. When they came over here, around that time, before they went into the Assyrian captivity, we were speaking that language of Canaan, which was Paleo-Hebrew. And it even tells you in the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, that there should be 5 cities that speak the language of Canaan. You know, so we're getting that language back. And by us getting that language back, we can look at the artifacts that are found within America, and we can use that as irrefutable evidence that these are those lost tribes of the tribe of Israel, man.
This is 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 6. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away in Assyria and placed them in Halah and in Habar by the river of Gozan and in the city of the Medes. For so it was the children of Israel who had sinned against the Lord Yahweh their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt.
And how did they sin? They sinned by way of following after the transgressions of Jeroboam. You know, which Jeroboam made two calves. You know, which he caused Israel to worship, because he felt as if that because Israel was split into two, he was given 10 tribes, and the remaining tribes remained with Solomon. So he felt as if, by Solomon I mean Rehoboam, Solomon's son. So he felt as if he didn't make those calves, that the tribes that was given unto him would go back unto the rest of the tribes, man. But it was set up to be a division between them because prophecy had to be fulfilled. So he made those calves for Israel to worship, which became a great stumbling block unto the nation of Israel, you know, which caused them to be led into captivity by Shalmaneser, king of Assyria.
For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord Yahweh their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of the Pharaoh king of Egypt, and had fear of the gods.
Why? Because